Welcome to Biohacking with Brittany, a podcast focused on holistic health, nutrition, biohacking, and more. I'm your host, Brittany Ford, registered holistic nutritionist and self-proclaimed biohacker. During the last 10 years, I've focused on healing my gut and hormonal issues through lifestyle changes, nutrition, and of course, biohacks. And now I teach others to do the same. I'm so excited you're joining me today, so let's dive right in. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Biohacking with Brittany. I'm super stoked you're here this morning, if it is morning for you. I am doing another solo episode, so this one is just going to be me answering some questions that I typically get and kind of delving into some latest updates and things like that. So it's not going to be an interview. Because I just love these ones because I actually just get to talk about everything that I'm up to and just really connect with listeners one-on-one. So thank you. I posted a while ago actually asking for questions and things that you wanted me to answer. And so finally I'm able to actually release this episode and give you answers and give you updates. So I'm really excited about that. So I'm just going to dive right in. We're going to go everywhere today, like all different topics. And so let's start. So I definitely got some questions about 75 Hard. I recently finished this, and the most common question about 75 Hard that I get is, was it worth it? So I think I finished about, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago now, maybe 3 weeks, something like that. It was very interesting to do it. So for those who don't know what it is it's basically this health regimen that you follow for 75 days, and it has a bunch of rules that you have to follow every single day. So you have to drink a gallon of water every day, which is 3.7 liters. You have to do 2 workouts, and one has to be outdoors, and each has to be 45 minutes. You have to follow a specific diet, no alcohol, no cheat meals, no sugar. And then you have to read 10 pages a day. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. And if you fail or if you don't do one of those things every day, then you have to start again. I'm just going to have some coffee. I feel like my voice this morning is hoarse. So it was interesting. As somebody who is already pretty healthy, I actually didn't notice as much of a benefit from it as I thought I would. So a lot of people, if you read online, it's transformational, and they lose a bunch of weight, and they gain more muscle, and they gain more focus and productivity, and all of these things. And I know for my family members who've done it, that was definitely the case for them. Losing 10 pounds, losing 30 pounds, way more productive at work, all of these things. But for someone like myself who is a biohacker and is already pretty healthy, to be honest, I actually don't think it really moved the needle as much as I thought it would. Now, I'm actually doing blood work in the next week or so. So it'll be interesting to see my biomarkers versus when I did this same test by Inside Tracker in March. So it'll be interesting to see if my hormones have changed and if my mineral levels have changed, if things have gotten better or worse. But aside from that, I actually didn't notice too much of a benefit from doing it. I I personally didn't love how strict it was. I felt like I was forced to do a lot. So it kind of took out the enjoyment of reading for me. I just felt like I had to read 10 pages every day, and I would hit the 10th page and then I would stop reading, and it just felt so forced. So I didn't love that. And it just got a bit too much in terms of doing that at the same time as running a business. It felt very, it just felt very hard. And I don't know, maybe that's the point, I guess, 75 Hard, but it felt like I didn't really have an outlet to like relax or express myself. It was always like, oh, I have to do another workout. Oh, we can't go out for dinner because we can't eat this. Oh, I can't have a drink. Oh, I can't do this, like that type of thing. So, um, yeah. So I would recommend it for people who are very new to being healthy, and are very early in their health journey. Like, I think it's fantastic. And I think it would, expedite results. And I think you would get to where you want to be much, much faster. But if you are already healthy and you're a biohacker and, you're doing all the things already, like it's honestly probably not going to do too much for you. So that's kind of like my take on it. Will I do it again? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe. Um, Probably not this year. Maybe next year. But yeah, so that's my take on it. But if you try it and have, outstanding success or have very different results from myself, like let me know. And I would really love to hear about it. Okay, so the next question. Oh man. This one says, when is your underwear coming out? I'm waiting for Emfies. Oh, yes. This is a good question. In all transparency, I thought it would be out by now. Like, totally honest with you, I thought it would be out by, April, to be honest. Like, and if you go and listen to previous podcast episodes, or even like read my previous posts on Instagram, I even say like, oh, it's coming out in April, or oh, it's coming out in a few weeks. And I've totally stopped saying that now because I don't know when it's coming out. And that is because like research and development and product development in general takes so long. There is so much behind it. Like, I can't even tell you, when you're creating something from scratch and there's nothing else like out there that is like this, it takes a very long time. Everything from like the design to the fabric to me wearing them and washing them and wearing them and washing them and testing them, and then the packaging and then the labeling and then the shipping. Like, there's so much to it. Um, Way more than I probably knew when I decided to do this. But I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. So we definitely are like making moves, and we are moving forward. We have the designs pretty much done, about like 90% done now. But now we're changing the fabrics that we're using. So we're back to researching that, ordering samples, testing them out. And then once we have the fabric, then, we can move forward as well. So yeah, unfortunately, like I don't have a date that I can give you. As soon as possible, really. So the best thing for you to do is stay tuned on social media, get on the wait list. It honestly could be this fall at this rate. Like, it could be September, October. I don't know. I guess we're just gonna have to find out. So definitely stay tuned, and just know that like I'm working to get it done as soon as possible, and because I want to wear them myself. So they are definitely coming. They're definitely coming. Okay, so let's see. How is your cycle going? Oh, this is such a sweet question. Yeah, they say a bunch of other things that I won't read out loud about their cycle, but how is my menstrual cycle going? This is a good question. It's going pretty well. So I don't know what my latest update was, but I started working with a local naturopath recently, in the last couple of months. And that was because I just felt that I needed more support with it other than what I was doing myself. Um, and so she has put me on a very potent, like herbal regimen. So I have two different herbal, I guess they're like tonics, but it's more of like a liquid like supplement. And so I have two different ones. So the first one is for the first half of my cycle until I ovulate, and the second one is for afterwards, until I menstruate. So that's the kind of thing that I'm on right now is this like potent herbal medicine formula. And it's been very interesting. So when I first went to go see her, I was in a very long cycle, that one, and I wasn't ovulating. And then I started taking this herbal mixture, and I actually ovulated, I think like 6 days afterwards, from taking it. And then I went onto the second one, and now I'm back on a new cycle and with the first one again. So it's been very interesting to see it work so quickly. And I'm curious to see if it's gonna work, how quickly it's gonna work on this cycle as well. Um, I'm a little surprised, but also not surprised. I've had a lot of success with herbal medicine in the past, like a lot. And I don't know why I didn't necessarily think to use it for this in the past. Um, I guess it's just not something that I can actually create myself. Like these are custom blends, and it's like very fresh medicinal herbs that are put into this like liquid that I don't have access to that in my own practice. So that's probably why. But I've had a lot of success with herbal medicine, for healing my gut, for actually preventing malaria. When I traveled, I took a like very similar thing, like this herbal tonic, and it had something called Artemisia anna in it. And Artemisia anna, like you just take it every day, twice a day, and it prevents, I think it kills the malaria bacteria on contact. So that was very interesting. And I was in Tanzania for 6 weeks, and I took that, and I didn't contract malaria. So like just examples like that, like I've actually had a lot of success with herbal medicine. So it's interesting to kind of like be back at it and trying to use it for something new. And so far it's been successful. So I'm very excited about it because, with my own clients, when we work on their menstrual cycle, it's a lot about nutrition, and it's a lot about supplements, and it's a lot about lifestyle. But for me personally, like I have a lot of that down already. So it's really nice to bring in a new modality and see it work for me, and like try something, yeah, just something so different. So I'm really excited about it. And it feels really good. Mind you, I had a lot of symptoms around this cycle though. And yeah, so I'm happy that I ovulated and I had a like menstruated, and it was like all good, but I was definitely like, irritable, just like no, I don't know, bloated, but like kind of felt swollen, like water retention. Um yeah, it was definitely cramping, and definitely just had like a lot of symptoms around it. So we'll see if the herbal medicine actually helps with that in the future as well, because I'd love to have a cycle that's, not as potent, or not as like you notice it, right? Like just a little more easier would be great. So yeah, so thank you for asking that. And this next question kind of goes along with it. I'm going to have another sip of my coffee here. I'd like to interrupt this podcast today to talk to you about Inside Tracker. So, the truth is that people age at different speeds. The date that marks your birthday doesn't necessarily reflect your body's biological age, or known as your inner age with Inside Tracker. Learning your biological age can definitely seem daunting at first, and I felt the same way when I did this test. But it's more than just a simple measurement, it's a starting point for you to take control of your health and wellness journey. Inside Tracker is a personalized nutrition platform that analyzes your blood, DNA, lifestyle, and now fitness trackers to help you optimize your performance from the inside out. First, they analyze your body's biomarker data to offer you a clear picture of what's going on inside. Then they provide science backed recommendations for positive diet and lifestyle changes and track your progress every step of the way. if you're interested in this, definitely check it out. I'm so, so happy I did it. I learned a lot about what's going on for me. You can use my discount code biohackingbrittany through the link in the show notes, and that will get you 25% off both testing your biological age and any of the other tests and products as well. So that's biohackingbrittany for 25% off. But how is my skin? This person writes, I know you had skin trouble last year with acne and you get a lot of PRP done. Is it better now? What do you recommend for people with acne? Okay. So, yes, skin. Yeah, my skin is a lot better from last year. Thank you for asking. I went through a tough time with my skin. I think it was from like August 2019 to May 2020, something like that. Um, and what it looked like was acne on my forehead and on my chin. It wasn't cystic and it wasn't like very angry or like very red necessarily. It was just kind of like these little tiny whiteheads, and I would always pick them and then they would bleed and then it would leave scars and then I'd have to heal the scars and like it's a whole thing. Um, but now it's much better. So I'm very, very grateful for that. And I can feel how much more confident I feel in myself, to be honest, now that my skin is much better. So, like when I went through that time of being so self-conscious of my skin, like it was very difficult for me to show up online, to take photos and videos and be a content creator. And it was even difficult when I like saw people in person. Like, mind you, it was during the pandemic for a lot of it, but it just makes you very self-conscious, right? So I'm thankful that that has kind of subsided and I'm no longer dealing with that. And so what do I recommend for people with acne? Um, I would personally start with getting your hormones tested. This was very helpful for me as I realized at the time, I think my testosterone was too high. Um, and testosterone tends to release, how do I say this? Like help release more oil through the skin, which creates more acne very easily. So when I got my hormones tested, it was easier to understand, okay, like what's going on here? Why is my testosterone higher? What can I do to lower it? And at the time, it wasn't like out of the normal range, but it was high in the normal range, and I didn't really like that. So I like started to do things to reduce my testosterone, and that definitely helped. So that's where I would start with somebody with acne is like get tested. And a great test that you can do for that is Inside Tracker. I know I talk about them a lot, but their tests are very comprehensive, right? So it gets like you get the minerals tested, you get the vitamins tested, and you get your hormones tested in one test. So it's awesome, right? Like otherwise, if you go through a doctor or a naturopath or somebody else, like you have to get multiple tests done. And it's a little ridiculous. So it's nice to have it all done and all done in one place as well. So that's what I would recommend. And then I mean, there's so many ways that you can go about doing this, but like assess your diet, assess your lifestyle. Um, I think lifestyle is a big factor. Like, how much are you sleeping? How much stress are you handling right now? Do you have work life balance? All those types of things can really, really be important. And yeah, and I think that was like the most important thing for me too was like, am I having fun every single day? Am I having fun in my work? Am I enjoying life? Or am I just like working too much and stressed too much? And then it leads to me breaking out. So, I mean, acne is like a full rabbit hole that we could go down, but like that's where I would start is like assess your diet, assess your lifestyle, and get tested. And then go from there. And if you have like very specific questions, seriously, just message me and I can help you. Um, or you can even send me your results. Like people do that. They send me their health results. especially with like Viome and other tests like that. Like I've done basically all of these tests, and I can tell you as a holistic nutritionist and a biohacker and someone who's done them, like what I recommend for you. So that is where I would start. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, okay. So I get this question a lot. Holy. Okay. So do I recommend the school that I went to for holistic nutrition? What type of jobs can you get in this field? Okay. So I get a lot of these questions. And I think it's because I'm on the alumni page for the school that I went to. I'm on the first page. So I think a lot of people click my profile and message me, which is fine. So I went to the Canadian School of Natural Nutrition and I studied online for 2 years. So I went from 2017 to 2019. And during that time, I worked and I traveled. And it was before the pandemic. And so it was pretty good. I did an undergrad degree as well. So this is like not the first degree that I have. And yeah, do I recommend it? So I do recommend it. I think that the education is very thorough. You learn about a lot. Like you learn about like pediatrics and geriatrics and sports medicine. And now they have herbal medicine as well. And now they also have a hormone course too. So the curriculum has definitely been updated since I went there. Um, but generally speaking, I would recommend it. Like if you want to become a nutritionist, this is probably one of the best schools that you can go to. They have like thousands of graduates. Like, so that was one of the reasons that I chose them is because I know they're the biggest school in Canada. I'm not sure how they compare to some of the ones in the States, but the fact that they've graduated so many people made me want to go there because it just like legitimized them in my mind. The other reason that I wanted to go there was because they are the only school that allows you to be a registered holistic nutritionist. Everywhere else, the designation is like nutrition consultant or something like that. And I was like, no, like I want to be a nutritionist. Like this is what I want my title to be. So that's also kind of why I went there. So if you're looking for a thorough education in nutrition, and even lifestyle and even like biohacking, they definitely have things about biohacking in the curriculum in terms of like sleep and sauna and like lifestyle medicine type of thing, I would definitely recommend it. Um, if you are somebody who is very educated already and you have done a lot of self education as well on top of that, I don't know if you need it, to be honest. So, even though I am a nutritionist, I've never had anybody ask, like, can I see your degree or can I like prove that you are this person, prove that you have this title. That has never happened and I don't think that will ever happen. So if you are already very educated, unless you're just looking for further education, um I don't know if you need it in terms of like having the designation or being able to say that. So that's just like my only caveat is like, and that's exactly what I tell everybody who DMs me and asks me this question is like, it depends on your background. And it depends what you want to do. So I know that's like part of the second question as well is like career wise, what can you do? There's so many different things that you can do. You can do what I do and run an online practice and have clients, and also be a content creator slash influencer and work with brands and come out with your own product, which is crazy. I do all of those things right now. Um, you can also work for a health company. Like there's so many health companies now and wellness companies. Like it's just ridiculous. Like, especially with COVID, like, I don't know, it's just blossomed so much. So, like, supplement companies, you can work in clinics, you can do there's like so much that you can do. And the health and wellness world is massive. And so because of that reason, the jobs are just endless. And having an education in nutrition and health and wellness will only propel you to be able to get a job in this field much better. So, if I were to shut down my practice today and not do Emfies and not be an influencer anymore, like I would go work for one of these like biggest health and wellness companies. And, I like having such a background like puts me ahead of a lot of other candidates who don't. So, I mean, it's just endless and really depends what you want to do too. So I was just talking to a friend of mine and she wants to do the program. But she actually wants to become a like home chef, like a private chef, which is like totally different from what I'm doing. But she would have the same education, part of the like same education that I have. So it just shows you like how diverse it really is. Okay, so we're going to take one more question. Oh, this one is so simple. So what is my favorite biohack right now? And how often do I do it? And what do I recommend for people who are starting out? Okay. So my favorite biohack right now, I just started doing something very new. I ordered a journal. My goodness, this is the first time I've ever really journaled. I used to have a diary as a kid. And I don't think that counts as journaling because when I reread my diary entries, it's literally all about boys. Like that is all I ever talked about. Um, and this journal that I have is definitely not about boys. Oh man. Um, so yeah, so I just got this journal. It's called the Soul Journal or Soul Journal. And it's a daily journal. And every day it prompts you with a new question. And so I do it at night as sort of this like reflective activity. And it's been very interesting so far. So like I ordered it because I felt like I needed to be working on my mental health, emotional health, and like spirituality more. I do a lot for my body, but I don't do enough for like my soul, which sounds kind of woo woo, but I just like was very much feeling like I wasn't being heard and like I just needed a place to talk about things aside from therapy. Like I still go to therapy, but right now it's like once a month or so. It's not very often. So I got this journal and it's been very good so far. So it's very easy. It's only one question a day. And I like it because every question is different. So it's not the same as like the gratitude journal where it's like list 3 things that you're grateful for every single day. Like I think that is so important. But for me as someone who's trying to like dig a little deeper and kind of connect to myself more, I wanted something that was different. And so it's been good. So like I think last night's question was about family. And it always has like a little blurb at the beginning. But it was something like think of, a family member. It can be a grandparent, a parent, or a sibling. How do they currently shape your life right now? And so you just think of somebody and you just like write down thoughts that come to your mind. And there's no like goal, write this many sentences. There's like it's very private, like no one else should read it. It should just be about you. Um but it just gives you an opportunity to reflect on your life and it's been very interesting so far. So I'm very new to it though. I'm only like a week in, but it's something that I'm valuing and I'm hoping to see a difference. And so it's for a year. So it's 365 days of entries. You can start any day of the year. Like you just put the date in and you just fill it out every single day. So it'll be interesting a year from now if I'm still doing it and looking back at past entries and being like, wow, like I forgot that I was dealing with this at the time, or like I remember when I wrote this down and I was having this train of thought, like, so it'll be cool to kind of like have that reflective aspect, because I've always wanted to journal, but I just suck at it. Like I just don't have the patience to sit down and write a journal entry every day. Like although I would find it so valuable to like open up a journal and read about 3 years ago, like I would love that. I would love that insight on my life. But present day Brittany does not want to fill it out. So I just don't. So this might be like my answer and my solution. So I'll keep you updated as it goes. I'd like to interrupt this podcast to talk to you about Sensate. You've probably seen me talk about them on Instagram lately, and I'm finding it very interesting to be using this device regularly throughout the week. It is a device that helps tone the vagus nerve, and it does this through sound and vibration. The vagus nerve is really important for keeping you calm, keeping you out of the fight or flight mode, and really, like, just really great for stress management because of how it talks to the rest of the body and how it helps everything kind of connect. It's really cool to use a device for something like this compared to a supplement, or breathing techniques or anything like that. Like it's cool to try something different, and that's exactly what Sensate is. So it tones the vagus nerve through sound and vibration. So you hang it from your neck and you lean back against the couch, or you lie down and let it vibrate right on your chest plate, and that's where you're actually able to tone the vagus nerve and reach it. So it's very interesting, and it's cool because you actually feel the difference right away. If you're stressed with work and you take 10 minutes aside and go and use this, like you'll feel calmer within like a couple of minutes. It's really, really cool. And the science behind this company is very, very interesting and is a very growing field. So I'm excited to see that. But yeah, I definitely recommend trying it if you're looking for something that's a different for stress management and for getting into your parasympathetic state more often. And you can definitely go and use it and use my discount code. Please use that. I love getting these for you, for my listeners. My discount code is Biohacking Brittany, and you can use that at getsensate.com/biohacking And yeah, definitely try it out. And if you have any feedback or love it and want to talk about it, you can always message me, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. And then the other biohack that I love, what's it called? Oh, yes. So I started whitening my teeth for the first time. I haven't ever done like white strips or white, I don't know, toothpaste or whatever is like the latest thing. Um, because I've been nervous, or not nervous, but like I haven't really trusted the ingredients and those types of things. So I came across this brand called Primal Life Organics, and they have a whitening device, and it's so interesting. So it's basically, if you think of like a mouth guard, it's like that, and you put it into your mouth, and you put this like serum on your teeth, and then you put this guard in, and this guard is like connected to this like little like battery type of thing, and it uses red and blue light, and it shines it on your teeth, and it shines on your teeth for 15 minutes, and then the timer goes off and you take it out. So I'll post an Instagram story about this today because I've been meaning to actually talk about it. So you're supposed to do it for 5 days a week for the first month. And yeah, it's been really cool. So I've started to notice a difference already. And it's interesting to use light to help whiten teeth and help like kill plaque or get rid of plaque, and help like kill bacteria, like bad bacteria as well. So it's a very, very like biohacky thing to do. So it's interesting. It's a very cool device, and I will definitely link to that in the show notes as well, because I I just find it fascinating. And I actually want to have the founder on my podcast because she has created like very, very cool skincare products, but also like oral health products. And I also use her toothpaste as well right now. So I will link to that. If you're looking to whiten your teeth in a natural way that is like gentle over time, that doesn't have any toxic ingredients in it, that is what I would try. This is not an ad. It sounds like an ad, but this is not an ad. It's by Primal Life Organics. And I'm sure if you're in the biohacking world, you've like heard of them before. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing right now is like journaling and whitening my teeth. Sometimes I do it at the same time. It's kind of like 2 in 1. But yeah, that's kind of like what I'm up to. So thank you for everyone who submitted questions. I'm not going to take any other ones because I wanted this to be more of a short, quick update episode. We have we have lots of fun things coming up this year. Obviously, the biggest thing is Emfies, getting it out and public. But also, my new website is finally done. Holy moly. This has taken, we started working on my new website, just so you know, in like November. So if anyone is out there and they have a brand or business and you're redoing your website, you know the struggles of how long it takes. Like, from the developer coding it to the branding, the photos, like everything. Oh my goodness, like actually takes forever. So it's finally done. And now I just need to put all my copy, my photos in it. And then it's going to go live. And I'm so excited because it's so much better than my current website. Oh my goodness. It's like beautiful. It's professionally done. And I had professional photos done. The branding's professional. Like I did nothing, which is good because I need to do less in my own business and outsource more. So it's been fantastic to have like professionals do it. And I'm very, very excited to bring it to you. So that's going to be coming out like in the next week or so, whenever I can get it all done and up. So definitely look out for that. And as always, if you have somebody who you want to come on my podcast, message me and I'm very interested. I just received a great message this week of somebody recommending someone who specializes in fertility. So I'm super excited about that one. And she herself specializes in biohacking for animals, which is so cool. And I didn't even know that was a thing. So I'm actually bringing her on the podcast as well. So you never know. You never know what's going to happen. So definitely recommend anyone that you can think of who would be a good fit. And I would love to chat. And so, yeah, thank you for listening and stay tuned for another episode coming next week. Thank you so much for tuning in today. As always, feel free to screenshot this episode and tag me if you'd like me to respond. I really hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. If you have a question about your health, my DMs are always open and I'm currently taking new clients. Thanks and see you next time.